Yeah. Welcome out once again, ladies and gentlemen. This is the RemiX Morning Show right here on Black Power Media. I go by the name of the Ear Doctor and your host for the day, Kalanji Jama Changa. We got Tierney Cherie and no other than Burn It Down Kim Brown.
Welcome to the RemiX Morning Show, Black Power Media, where we are not sponsored by rich white folks or wealthy Negroes. We are 100% viewer supported, and we thank you. Shout out to the remixes and all those out in chat world. Chat is the beehive of this motherfucking thing over here at Black Power Media. Let's go.
Well, speak for yourself, Kalanji, because my segment of the RemiX Morning Show is being brought to you by House Coats. House Coats. For when you need to be warm and comfy on a cool November morn here on the East Coast. House Coats. There's one for you.
Shout out to House Coats.
Wow.
When
I
it's all
love
about
how
the
I hopped
news.
in here.
Perfect timing. Look who fell up in the room.
That's right.
Jackie Lukman.
I wish I was in my house coat.
Jacqueline Lukman is a proud spokesperson of House Coats. Y'all did not even understand.
Okay.
I am a proud spokeswoman for house coats.
That's right.
Fancy and silken house coats.
Now, this sounds gender heavy. Ear Doctor, do you have a house coat nearby to save the day, brother? Because we need to know.
About?
Hey, I might come on the next break with one on, man. I gotta step my game up. Tierney, where's yours?
I have bad temperature control, so I get hot really easily and I get cold really easily. So it's best that I just, keep it simple.
All right. Tierney said, "Don't worry about my house coat." Anyway,
I've never heard of a good silky smoking jacket for a brother. Come on.
Silky smoking jacket for a brother.
Come on.
Listen, I encourage you all to please go check out Ghostface Killer's album cover of Bulletproof Wallets. Bulletproof Wallet.
I got a problem with Wu since you just said something about
what?
That, yeah, I do got a problem with Wu. The Wu has a new member that they've been pushing called Remedy. And Remedy is pro-Israel, pro-Zionist Israel.
No,
you know what I'm
come
saying?
on.
Yes, he is. And he's produced several of their albums in the past. Y'all need to check this cat out. He's a white boy. He's been around them for quite a while, but you won't be hearing anything that will be anti-Israel or anti-Zionist coming from Wu-Tang because of the fact that this cat is about that life. Matter of fact, there was a point back in 2017 where him and Talib, that's when Talib was still on Twitter, they had a little Twitter beef going because of the fact that Talib was pro-Palestine and dude was pro-Zionist Israel. So yeah, y'all need to look into that. I ain't pushing no more Wu until we get an understanding of what's popping with that.
Hey, before I get out of here, I want to give a big shout out to one of our new members right here, Aquil Abdush Shakur. Did I get that right?
No, well,
Akil Abdush Shakur.
Yes, sir.
Bam, I got it.
Assalamu alaikum to Akil. You know what I'm saying? He in the building. And I'm glad that we have a new member because of the fact that means something to us. Because every now and then somebody would be like, well, that's why I don't support y'all no more. Okay, well, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you do one thing a cat don't like, they lose it on you. You know what I'm saying? They say, forget all the content. You had such and such on there. How dare you? You know what I'm saying? But anyway.
Said this, that, and the third. I did.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Forget everything else. Yeah. Throw away everything. Like we don't, you know what I'm saying? You're not my favorite channel anyway. Anyway, shout out to the haters. Get them thumbs down if you're out there. You know what I'm saying? Let us know y'all still in the building. You know what I mean? Yes. Peace to all the Siafus out there, the Africans from every corner of the earth, every planet. You know what I'm saying? That exists out in the universe. The solar system. How y'all feeling today? I'm looking outnumbered today. I feel like Kalanji's Angels or something up in here. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should hide inside. You know what I'm saying? What's popping?
Yeah, feeling pretty good today. Yeah, woke up feeling pretty good. No aches, no, arthritis. Kind of taking a break. Feeling pretty good.
Okay. That's how you know you're getting older. You say no arthritis. Like
I know.
I don't even think about arthritis.
Arthur ain't bothering me today.
No.
Hey, man,
that's the win for the morning. Well, I still got 65% of my hair to twist, so my day is already starting off a little bit behind the 8 ball. But
Okay.
We're gonna
I remember
work
when
it out.
I was in labor and I was trying to finish twisting my hair for the life of me because I'm like, I'm not gonna have time after this baby's born, but it never got done. It's all good.
Okay, all right. Priorities. Like I twist my head. Baby's on the way. I got 2 more. Wait.
I was trying so hard with the contractions. It's messing me up.
Okay. All right. Okay. This is definitely my kind of show.
Let's go.
How was you guys' weekend, man? What's popping out there in weekend world?
This weekend, the holidays are they're exactly how I thought they were going to be. The holidays are kind of rough. They're a little difficult. You know, Abdus was that dude loved Christmas. That big old dude. Oh my God! At the end of Thursday, whether we had a Thanksgiving whatever dinner or not, as soon as it got dark, this dude disappeared downstairs, dragged out the box of decorations. Come on, babe, let's put the decorations up. Where the tree? Did you throw the tree away from last year? Then we decorating and buying more decorations, and him buying things for the dog for Christmas. The dog got the first Christmas gift every year. The dog did every year.
That's why you be trying to get on camera. You're like, man, what about me?
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. So Thanksgiving was kind of that was rough, but I spent it with my family, and the holidays are hard. They're some of the first holidays without Abdus. And it's hard, but y'all have been great. My comrades, my friends have been great. So, I'll just keep a lot of wine on hand, a lot.
Okay. So now we see you stumbling onto the set. Over by any means necessary. You and Sean be like, don't worry, she was drunk when she said that. You know what I'm saying? Drinking some of the Air Doctor wine. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not touching that. That's probably Cisco, really.
Oh man, you say my man got drinking Cisco in 2021. That's colder than the white man. Anyway, well, you gonna get it together. Keep on with the good wine, and everything's gonna be all right. Kim looked like she don't give 2 shits about nothing, but she like, look, this is my day off. Y'all asked me to come on.
I'm here, so look.
I mean, Kalonji, I'm very impressed at the way you can read my body language all the way from 12 states away. You are a gift. That's a gift. That's a gift. No, come on now. I don't try to pass up too many opportunities to come on here and hang out. We're down a person this morning. So a couple people this morning. We down a couple people this morning. So Kalonji said, Kim, come on, we need Destiny's Child back together.
We y'all back in order, man.
Either that okay.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna front. I wasn't feeling well myself this morning. So I was on some other stuff. I'm like, it'll probably be crazy if I just don't show up at all. Because knowing my 3 sisters, not now one of them put nothing on the run sheet, but they got something to talk about.
No,
I used to, but sometimes you would ask me, and so I'm like, well, I might as well just show up with the article.
That's all right. Tinny, like, I'm not gonna be the only sister on here not abiding by the run sheet rules. What do you think this is? So I'm cool with it.
I usually abide by the rules, but I was just feeling lazy last night. I was like, no, okay, maybe other people will have things to talk about.
For the record, Jackie was the person who came with the run sheet, so she got the audacity. She like, we need a run sheet.
Run sheet. I don't need to put nothing on no run sheet. I created the run sheet.
Bad shape. To all the folks out there checking us out, I know y'all like, I don't know what the hell's going on. This is my first time tuning in. They in robes talking about run sheets. This is out of order. I'm going back to the white man. But anyway, we'd like to thank you all for stopping through Black Power Media. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button. You know what I mean? What they say? They say hit the bell if you want to be notified or whatever. I've never hit the bell, but I keep getting all these damn notifications. And it's driving me crazy. I'm like, I do not want to see me. Anyway, so definitely we appreciate you all checking us out. Shout out to all the folks in the chat room. We're gonna get it live this morning, And it's gonna be a beautiful day, man. It's gonna be a beautiful day. We got a lot to talk about this weekend, man. What y'all got some topics and subjects we gonna be pushing through today or what?
A couple things, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tierney looked like she ready to talk about somewhere in Africa. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, man. Of course, all the new news about the COVID variant. There's a lot of people talking, but I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts on just what's happening with COVID in general, I guess.
Okay. It's a COVID day. All right.
Like we haven't had enough of those.
That's Kalonji's favorite topic. It's
my
COVID.
favorite topic in the whole goddamn universe.
About COVID.
I mean, I see they burning it down over in Guadeloupe because the French are trying to force the mandates over there. Shout out to those in Guadeloupe doing their thing, whatever they like. Look, man,
and our brothers and sisters in Niger who are also resisting French military aggressions happening in Niger, and so France is acting like huge assholes out here this morning. I mean, that's on brand, but it's usually us. It's usually America playing these roles. But here we are. France is like, don't forget us. We imperialist, colonialist powers out here too.
Don't get it twisted.
We got a military too.
Yeah. You know what we need to do? We need to contact the folks in Brooklyn and Compton and charter a couple planes, send them over there and kick the French ass real quick and come back, day after tomorrow. That's how we really need to do this thing. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, if we're going to do that, you might as well put them up against the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. You ain't got to send them all the way over to Niger. They got some work. They can put in some work right here.
NYPD, MPD.
We've got some occupying forces in our communities right here.
The challenge. You know what I'm saying? You're about to get me all the way indicted. First thing in the morning. First 15 minutes. Send them to the LAPD. Anyway.
Conspiracy.
Welcome to the Remix Morning Show, where these people are wild as hell, and I don't even know how I got here. But
you called us.
I called y'all. Thanks.
Let's start there.
We gonna blame this on Dr. Jared Ball because I didn't even know y'all about a year ago. So. But anyway, definitely welcome to the Remix Morning Show. We got the ear doctor coming up right about now because of the fact that he always got something to say. And
look at that.
I had to go put on my robe, get my ghost face on. See,
okay.
That's ghost face. I'm ghost neck. See,
ghost neck. Okay.
No.
I rock the Sankofa bird. He rocked the eagle.
Okay.
They McDonald's, I'm McDowell.
Okay. Well, as long as you ain't supporting Zionist Israel, then we can stick with you.
It's all good.
Bird, I'm out here floating in space. I'm about to give y'all the weather report like no other. So let's get to it.
No doubt. Remix Morning Show. Let's go. Let's get it started.
It's the weather report. Yo, it's the weather report. Whether you know it or not. Yo, it's the weather report. What's good, everybody? Welcome out once again to Black Power Media. Let me take this robe off, man. Y'all know what it is. Black Power Media. This is the Remix Morning Show. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button. Also go to patreon.com and drop some change in the bucket so we can keep this movement upward bound. All right. So I hope you all had a great weekend. It is time to give y'all the weather. I'm out here floating in space, looking down at the planet like, all right, that's hot. That's hot. That's not. So let's start off with Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville, Tennessee has a high today of only 62 degrees. I got to get down there. I ain't been to Nashville yet. Go listen to some good country and blues. All right, next, let's take it over to the west side, which is Aspen, Colorado. Aspen, Colorado has a high of 47 degrees today. 47 degrees. Now, let's take it over to Puerto Rico. That's right, Puerto Rico. Big up to Puerto Rico. They got a high today of 86 degrees. Yeah. I've been to Puerto Rico, though. It's pretty good. I went to Club Lasers, chilled out on the top of the roof, had a little party. Yeah, big up to Puerto Rico. Next, let's take it over to here we go. Gulu, Uganda. That's right. Let's take it to Gulu, Uganda. They have a high today of 86 degrees, also just like Puerto Rico. Next, let's take it over to Valence, France. That's right. We was talking about France, where they have a high today of 19 degrees. Now, that's colder than the white man. But we're not going to talk about the white man being cold. We're going to talk about a certain person running for mayor of Atlanta, Felicia Moore. That's right. Cold as Felicia Moore. Let me tell you why it's cold as Felicia Moore. How do you lose an election? You say, I'm going to shut down all the strip clubs in Atlanta. What was she thinking? So they got a mayor runoff today with Andre Dickens and Felicia Moore, and she just put out that she is going to shut down the strip clubs in Atlanta. Ain't nobody voting for you now. Stop playing. Come on, son. That's what it is. Anyway, let's get back to the Remix Morning Show. Right about here, right about now. Shut down the strip clubs. You bugging. Yeah. That's cold. That's cold.
Hey, man. Shout out to the ear doctor for hitting us with our political analysis. You know what I'm saying? He said, hold up. Forget Cop City. You know what I'm saying? Forget closing down the shelters. You talking about closing down the strip clubs? You're going too far.
You've gone too
You're gone too far.
You know, and you guys, did you all know that? I mean, on something else, on another note, that the ear doctor used to be a part of a hip hop group out of Miami. The Two Live Crew. Do y'all remember the Two Live Crew?
Oh no,
brother Marquis,
Chinese
Marquis,
looking dude.
brother. Anyway, leave it, doctor.
I'm done with y'all, man. Rock out. Have a great one.
Check it out, y'all. Remix Morning Show. You know what I'm saying? Ear doctor's insane. I just forgot what I was going to say.
That's some great respectability politics kind of. Oh my God, I just.
Yo,
leave them women alone, man. It's work. Leave them women alone.
What's her reason? Like what I mean, is there a policy decision behind this? Like what is her justification for wanting to close the strip clubs down?
Listen, y'all not about to get me in trouble. I don't know. That's the ear doctor.
What you mean? That's your community. Come on, you're not plugged in to what's happening.
Like my father used to say when I'm trying to explain to him why I shouldn't get my ass whooped. Anyway, I don't know. But one thing,
general principle, we support the sex workers of Atlanta. Let me just go on the record and say that we support the exotic dances, the sex workers. You getting that money on that pole, good for you. You deserve a living wage. You deserve health care. You deserve all kinds of shit. And if there's a mayoral candidate who is trying to deny you of those things, yes, vote against that person. Totally.
The Remix Morning Show would not be endorsing Felicia Moore, clearly.
No, right.
You know, but real quick before we go to the news, one thing that I did see on the local news here was that the mayoral candidate, his name is, who she's going up against, his name is Andre Dickens, folks who are not in Atlanta. And they just put out an ad where they darkened his face. They added more darkened highlights and tones or whatever, and they found the meanest picture that they could find. And you know, so now they're riffing about that. It's like, man, you really trying to make, they're like, well, even the white man on the news was like, they make them darker so that you can look scarier. Now when the white man on the news telling you that, it's bad. But anyway, she got on the news. She's like, well, I didn't put out the ad. There's nothing I could do about it. Whoop-de-whoop. I'm like, oh boy. Anyway,
I have some crazy elections. That's what
well, listen, don't be colony tripping like y'all colony up there. Y'all got some crazy elections. We've been having a Negro mayor for the last 40 plus years.
Yeah.
And the beautiful thing is Kasim Reed would have been the black Trump. He'd have been back again. So they isolated him. So now we got both of these pro-cop mayors coming on. And I want to just say, I saw Andre Dickens, one of the candidates, a few months ago. And I was like, look, I want you to come on the Remix Morning Show. Oh, let's do it. This is my guy, Al, and such and such, and blah, blah, blah. Crickets. Haven't heard from him. Andre, it's not cool. You got to come on here. You become mayor or not. You don't play that. Don't tell Kalonji just anything. Anyway,
what happened? Did he see a broadcast and he was like, "Oh no, there's too black." No.
He knew who I was, but that's why I guess he tried to okay, let me get rid of him real quick and tell him, yeah, like, okay, don't play with me, homie. Anyway, we're gonna go to the news real quick. We'll be right back at you. RemiX Morning Show. Yeah. Slap the map. Okay, welcome back. RemiX Morning Show, the news or whatever. And I hope y'all can see me because right now I can't see myself.
Perfect way to start our news. The news whatever.
Yeah, the news or whatever. Hey, I was trying to buy time because of the fact, how sometimes the screen disappeared. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, I know I'm probably still in front of the screen. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying whatever. But anyway, speaking of news or whatever, who we want to start with today? We want to roll out with first. I think Jackie got something we want to do.
I got goofy news. I don't know if it's goofy officially, but it's a little. It's not. This isn't pressing news for our people. I mean, I got a story if y'all want me to go.
Okay. Well, let's start with Jackie since you just broke us with that news. You're like, hey, you got some news. I don't really want to tell y'all what's going on.
I mean, because it's celebrity involved, and I mean, and obviously there's a racial component to it, and there's additional racial components to it because the celebrity who had this encounter on an airplane. I too have had encounters on airplanes where the motherfuckers had to pull me off a fucking plane because they said it was some stupid shit. So anyway, that's my story. So I got a story about Ari Lennox getting pulled off the plane in Amsterdam by the police who said that she was being too emotional. And I'm like, God damn, where have I heard this before? But Jackie could go first.
No, you're there.
I slapped it on the screen.
No, you're there.
Read that damn story.
All right, let's go. I should be sharing my screen already because I was trying to get ready.
Okay.
Now don't ask me how to get this goofy ass blue box off of here. Thank you, The Guardian, for your stupid pop-up ads.
Just keep on scrolling down.
Okay, we just gonna be scrolling then. So R&B star Ari Lennox. Now ask me what Ari Lennox sang because I don't have a clue what Ari Lennox sang. But Ari Lennox, R&B star, was arrested in Amsterdam. She alleges racial profiling. So what they're saying happened to Ari Lennox. Now the police allege, I'm just seeing this, that she was under the influence of alcohol, but she says that the police in Amsterdam profiled her racially. They said that she was being too emotional. She tweeted about this. She says, I'm being arrested in Amsterdam for reacting to a woman racially profiling me. Fuck Amsterdam security. They hate black people. I just want to get home. I'll never leave my house again. Well, baby, if you live in the US, I got a sad story to tell you. So the police in turn released a statement where they said that our unit found a woman full of emotions that wouldn't calm down. That's why she had to be taken into custody. She was probably under the influence of alcohol, and this was later confirmed. Well, to my knowledge, it's not illegal to fly whilst under the influence of alcohol. In fact, they serve alcohol all over the place on the airplane.
Since you can get it on the airplane.
They acting like Ari snuck in a bottle and was getting ripped on the airplane. That is not that I can already tell you that is not the case because they sell alcohol all over the place in the airport, on the plane, in the airport, everywhere. So the airline that she was flying on was KLM. They said that there was an altercation about seeing her identification. The lady did not show the correct document. When the employee confronted her, she drew the wrong conclusions. Meanwhile, her management has apologized to us and she will make a statement later today. So this rang a bell with me because I will tell y'all, and I will probably talk about this later on my show today on Burn It Down with Kim Brown today at 5. But in 2000, I want to say maybe 6, I was flying back from Oklahoma. I was working in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I was flying back to Baltimore, flew into BWI Airport, and upon arriving, after the plane landed, I did what most people do. I unbuckled my seatbelt and started to collect my things. And a stewardess, whom I felt had been giving me, let's say, attitude throughout the entire flight, as we're taxiing to the gate, she comes up to me and tells me I need to put my seatbelt back on. And I kind of look at her like she's crazy. I'm like, no, we are already on the ground, honey. We have landed. She goes and tells the captain that I refuse to put my seatbelt back on. The captain gets on the intercom and says that no one can get off the airplane because they have a passenger who refuses to put their seatbelt back on, and that TSA has been called and TSA is on the way, right? So TSA gets on the airplane, white man. He gets on there. Seems to me somebody's on here causing a problem. I said, that's me. See me? That would be me. So I grab my bag and I look at the stewardess as I'm being escorted off the plane, and I tell her, I say, you're doing a great fucking job, right? So for reasons I'm still not exactly sure, you know how sometimes when you arrive at the gate, you can arrive directly at the gate where they have the little bridge connector, or you have to deplane off the plane directly by going down the stairs to the pavement. So that's what they did. So I walked down the stairs off of the airplane. There's a white TSA officer and a black woman TSA officer. The white man, who is way bigger than me, jumps in my face and said, well, the stewardess said that you were being unruly and disruptive, and that's a crime. That's a felony. I said, yeah. I said, well, why don't you go back on the plane and ask the people who were sitting around me, was I being disruptive and was I being unruly? Why don't you do an investigation, right? That shut him up, right? So he goes back on the plane. He comes back off several minutes later, and he says, because the stewardess said that you were behaving in such a way, we have to detain you, because at this point, it's up to the FBI whether or not they want to press charges against you for acting unruly on an airplane. So they put me in handcuffs. They put me in handcuffs, and they put me in the back of the TSA car, and they take me to whatever the Baltimore, the BWI version of Guantanamo is, right? They ship me to some places unknown, and they kept me there for a couple hours, handcuffed, until the FBI determined that I obviously was not a threat and that they had no reason to press charges against me. So I said all that to say that I can totally understand where Ari Lennox perhaps may have been coming from. I don't know whether or not she was under the influence of alcohol, and I don't even care, because I'm a side with sis on this, because when flight staff decide to racially profile you for whatever reason, it is absolutely your word against theirs. And trust me, their word holds way more weight than your word, especially in that moment. So when encountering racists who happen to be part of flight staff, just be very selective in the way that you decide to come across. And let me just say this for the record. I didn't cuss. I mean, I cussed her when I walked off the plane, but I didn't cuss her before then. And I had never raised my voice or done anything to get this woman all riled up. So anyway, I just said that to say this happens all the time with people of color, with flyers of color. Didn't necessarily have to happen exclusively in Europe. This happens in the US. I'm sure it happens all over the world when people of color are flying and they encounter poor service and they have the audacity to actually complain about said service. So that can be weaponized against us as though you were violating the rules, therefore you must be punished. So send love to some Ari Lennox this morning, because I've been there, sis. So hold your head. You be all right.
You know, the only thing about Ari Lennox, and I agree with you, Kim. I mean, it's been so many times they will try to provoke you, especially in the air, especially if they know who the fuck you are.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? I've never gone, I don't think in the last 20 plus years have I gone through the gates and not gotten damn everything but a cavity search. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about they got to go through my locks, they're going through my shoes, they're going, I mean, just whatever it is, no matter what kind of pass I got, whatever, it's going to be that way. So I'm clear about what the deal is. I'm just like, look, let me get to where I had to go. And whatever y'all got to talk about, it's all good. I got these headphones on. When I get off the plane, I'm going to say, fuck you, your mother, and all kinds of other people. Excuse me for the language, good folks. But the only thing with Ari Lennox that's crazy is the fact that you're talking about she was under the influence in Amsterdam. I mean, like, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like I thought that was not a crime.
I mean, she supposed to just looked at them like they were crazy, like just like and you know, like, oh, this person right here, you know, they need a doctor's note. You know what I'm saying? You lost your mind. It's like, I mean, how can you be under? You supposed to be under the influence in Amsterdam? Am I wrong? Or am I confused?
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like aerospace, aviation space, whatever, it kind of becomes like a pinnacle of white control if you think about it. Obviously, we have white control, whether in US or whether in Europe, but it's like another level, I think, because of the fact that there is like this monopoly driven by the capitalist industries and very tightly controlled. So I don't know how anyone ever feels comfortable. The second that you go walk into the airport, that you walk through TSA, you literally know that you're in their jurisdiction. And I'm hearing more and more. I don't know if it's just that social media has given people more voice, but a lot of entertainers are giving similar stories. I think recently Meek Mill was pulled off of an airplane. They said that he was smoking weed and he actually wasn't. Like, there's a consistent, I think, trend that whenever you enter into that domain, they literally will treat you to the most inhumane degree. And they have little consequence because for some reason that's considered national security. And that's like the magical word that you use whenever you want to get away with abusing people.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the thing about that story that struck me, because when I recently flew internationally, I had my locks checked too. That was the first time that ever happened. Yeah, I got pulled aside with 2 or 3 other folks for a random security check before boarding the plane. That had never happened before. You know, I was going to Colombia, so that was, I guess they were like, if anybody's going to be a drug mule, you know,
this lady right here, seen her show.
But the thing that struck me about the story was that it say in the story that Ari Lennox's management apologized to the Amsterdam police. What?
Well, hold on. KLM is the airline, right? That's not the law enforcement agency.
But no, still that is the wrong move. That's not the authorities came out and accused Ari Lennox of being under the influence with no evidence of that. She could sue them for that.
I would.
And her management apologized. I would my management would be fired. I would fire my management because I would be raising all kinds of no.
But I'm curious though, Jackie. I mean, I'm wondering whether or not her management had to, you know, massage the situation simply just so she could board a plane and leave the country, right? You know what I mean? Like maybe they just had to say what they had to say in order to get her off of Dutch soil. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know, but
I'm petty because I'm just like, I will stay in this hotel and I'm not apologizing for shit. What? Day 6. Are you apologizing?
Right.
No, I'm ordering breakfast. Click.
That's right. We're going to be in Amsterdam 2 more weeks.
See,
and I am under the influence now. Now what?
That's black woman privilege. If I say I'm going to stay my black ass, we have a very comfortable cell for you, sir. You have nice scenery and bars and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, man.
I'm stay as long as you like.
Them Dutch joints is probably sweets compared to what we got here in the U.S.
Listen, only thing I like Dutch is Dutch Masters. But anyway, moving right along to the next case. Jackie, you got something to talk about besides Kim high ass talking about somebody being under the influence of playing?
So I'm not even high. I am so sober right now. I got hair to twist. Leave me alone, Blondie.
You can't twist your hair. You can't twist your hair twisted. What's the matter with you?
How'd I get here?
Hey. So, okay, this is not a news story, but it's news to me. I did not know anything about this. So, you know, we just recently had the fake colonizer holiday of Thanksgiving, which is Thanksgiving, really. But I did not know, and I don't know if you all knew, because in our conversations about this, I don't remember this being brought up. I actually learned this from a tweet from community movement builders that there is a holiday, uh, African centered holiday that is celebrated on the last Sunday in November that's called Umoja Karamu, or the Unity Feast. And the creator was Dr. Edward Sims Jr. And there's a picture of the late Edward Sims and his wife there. And apparently, Dr. Sims created this holiday in 1971. I knew nothing about this, and according to accounts, it was started in like Philadelphia and DC. It's just news to me, but I just really wanted to share this because um, next year, if we are all here and the planet has not, has not heated up to the point where humans and animals can't survive on it anymore, I think this solves our conundrum. If people have more information on this holiday and Dr. Sims, and but I think this is really wonderful. It says here that it was inaugurated as a holiday in 71, introduced. It was only celebrated in Philadelphia and DC, and Dr. Molefi Kete Asante, professor and chair of the Department of African American Studies at Temple University, said African Americans must reestablish our cultural celebrations. I'm just African, but I'm just saying that's what he said. He said our traditional roots uh, were violently weeded, repressed, and finally forgotten during a process called slavery. So there are there's a color scheme and foods that go with this holiday that relate um, to our existence on the continent before the transatlantic slave trade, our experience during enslavement, after enslavement, and our struggle beyond uh, emancipation and our continued pursuit for freedom. So I think this is really dope. I thought this was a really interesting um, uh, piece of African, uh, what do I want to call it? Self determination is how I see it. Because I feel like this is an effort for Africans to hold on to our traditions, um, and to shape them in a way during the time that we're used to celebrating that Thanksgiving, but giving it a meaning that is specifically for us and tying it to real stuff and not just, some esoteric idea of, well, this is just family and tradition. Dr. Sims created a whole a liturgy, an entire basis for this feast for African people connected to our heritage. So I don't know. I thought that was interesting. I dig it. I think this will be um my tradition from now on. I'm going to try to get my family into it, but I thought I'd share it with y'all because I think you know, if we're talking about moving forward toward liberation, then we have to liberate and yes, decolonize our celebrations too. So
I
there you
want
go.
to give a shout out to Mumia Abu Jamal and his brother-in-law, who is now an ancestor, Shaka Musa Erishango, out of Philly, for a couple dynamite books, African People and European Holidays and Mental Genocide, volumes 1 and 2. If you all haven't checked that out, definitely check out the brother's work. He was a serious scholar, and he definitely dedicated a lot of his life's work, dealing with, European holidays, so on and so forth. And as I mentioned, he was Mumia Abu Jamal's brother-in-law. A lot of folks didn't know that, but definitely, shout out to that great ancestor and free Mumia. Anybody else want
Free
to?
Mumia. That's right. Free them all.
No doubt, no doubt. So
You're muted.
Kim got muted. She going off, and okay. Well, Kim, you're muted.
There we go. Jackie, what are some of the foods? Food is a feast.
Food,
What
yep.
are we feasting on for this Africans in America holiday?
What you think? Black-eyed peas, rice, tomatoes, greens, sweet potatoes, corn. What you think?
I mean, sweetest potatoes. Yes, all that. What's the meat? What we got? Bird? What we eating?
There is no. I do not see a any specific focus on bird or meat, and that's cool. Because I don't, and this is my my shortcoming. I don't know a lot about Dr. Sims, so I'm gonna have to do some research on him, and I wouldn't be surprised if he were a vegetarian. So that's why I'm guessing there's no focus on meat, but that's okay because I'm trying to cut back on my meat intake, and I'm not mad at that. So yeah, but I'm definitely excited about all the other stuff.
Right,
and I also just learned the difference between sweet potatoes and yams, and yeah.
Which I never knew either. I'm like, what? Like, there's a white one?
Sweet potatoes and yams.
Yeah,
only on the RemiX morning show.
My mind was blown. Yeah, I was like, wait, we don't have yams in this.
I'm scared to know. Tierney, please help us.
I did want to talk about, so one, obviously, I'm sure all of us have heard about the new COVID variant. Any of y'all know how to pronounce it? It's like Omicron or something.
Omicron.
Is it Omarion from
Yeah. I mean, so the timing's crazy. I mean, some people might have seen, I did an interview with Pan-African DTV. We've been planning decolonization convention for next year. The location we were aiming for is Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is on the not travel list, so we might have to think about some alternatives. But outside of that, you hear a lot of complaints from people on the continent talking about the fact that this variant did not originate in South Africa. It was just South Africa that discovered the variant, and yet we see the quick knee-jerk reaction from the United States and the UK on this, which is kind of indicative of imperialism, of course. But the story I was really interested in sharing, I'm going to share my screen. There was this report that came out about mRNA COVID vaccines. And I kind of think it brings up a lot of the issues when it comes to having a blind spot whenever we know the dangers of capitalism, but having a blind spot whenever the media basically is the one who's determining the narrative. But long story short, there was a study that found that there could possibly be a link between mRNA vaccines and heart effects. This study was done by the scientific sessions of the American Heart Association. It's just one study. It's not that you should go with one study necessarily, but the one study did find an increase from 11 to 25% of patients who could have heart diseases. There was a GB News in Britain. They were reporting about this one study, and the doctor said, you should not necessarily listen to one study. But then he's also hearing reports from whistleblowers who have said that they've tried to look more into these types of things. But one particular institute, whenever they found a possible link between heart diseases and mRNA vaccines, they basically withdrew and decided not to go forward in pursuing the research because they were afraid that they would lose their funding. So I think this is important to emphasize that the pharmaceutical industry has not lost its predatory nature. The pharmaceutical industry has not lost its viciousness. It's not lost its self-servingness. And I hope that the more and more that we hear people going into communities and saying, this is, what you should trust, let people feel okay having questions. And I see like a mode of saying you can't have questions, you can't feel distress, as if the whole industry, the whole medical industry just became new whenever COVID happened. So I think it's serious to know that possibly there's a possibility that people who do try to search adverse effects are being silenced because they're not getting funded. And of course, the mainstream media is not going to report this. So that's why I felt like this platform is important to bring it here for people to do their own research.
We appreciate that for sure. And what someone asked about a source to that, where'd you get that
Yeah,
information?
so actually I can, so this is, let's see, the website Op India, but actually let me share really quickly. I posted on my Twitter, GB News, they have a whole session where they're talking about it. And you can look this up. It's on my Twitter at Tierney Cherie, and or at African Esquire. But they go into more detail inside of this clip and talk about the fact that they weren't going to publish findings because they were concerned about losing research money, as it says right here. So definitely do your own research, everyone.
Right on. Appreciate you bringing that to the forefront. Any comments or anything?
So I thought that at least some of what Tierney just shared with us had been reported upon, and unfortunately I'm trying to place my own sources right now as well. But I think when they were doing the trials for the COVID vaccines for 12 to 17-year-olds, and they found that there was a higher instance of some sort of heart inflammatory situation but they were specific to say it was in teen boys. And I can't recall what the specific medical term is, like cardiomyopathy. Let me not mess it up. Let me not even try to do that. But I mean, I don't know of too many vaccines where there are zero side effects, right? There are some sort of side effects for most things. I mean, even for what they even call the so-called Cadillacs of vaccines for, measles, mumps, rubella. I mean, there are few in millions chance of, people even dying from vaccines. But I think that at least the numbers that have been presented to us by the medical community, obviously, considering the source there too, they place these chances of extreme adverse effects or reactions to the vaccine as infinitesimal, right? They say that they're so statistically, I won't say insignificant, but they're so rare that most people would not even be impacted by them. And I was supposed to be on here Thursday, last Thursday, and I did not come on Thursday because the day before I got my COVID booster. I'm sorry, Wednesday. I was supposed to be on here Wednesday. I got my COVID booster Tuesday, and that night I felt like intermittent chills, and kind of how you get when you get the flu. I was sweating, I was cold, I was fatigued, my arm hurt. But within 24 hours, I mean, I felt fine. So I don't know. I mean, I think if I was a parent, this is something that I'd definitely be concerned about. But as a me, I think I'm more afraid of COVID than I am the vaccine. So that's my take.
Yeah, and that's understandable. I think the biggest concern to me is that, well, one, we've heard of some whistleblowers coming out from Pfizer who have discussed the trials and been fired. And also we've heard about, it's a few whistleblowers who've said, these trials weren't up to par. And then, there was actually one that was sent to the Food and Drug Administration who did investigate these reports. To me, the biggest issue is that it's not transparent. This is not a transparent process. And although people want to make it seem like it's white and black, vaccine, no vaccine, people have real concerns because at the end of the day, like the people were being reported they're saying across the board, again, we don't trust one medical study. We would want to see other researchers take on the same thing and see if they could replicate the same effects. But the problem is that if these types of studies aren't being funded by this medical industry, like we said, that's controlled by people who don't have our best interests at heart, then the information that we do have can't be trusted. And so it's a real concern as far as how the medical industry funds who they want to fund, reports on what they want to report on, and is okay letting people not have the full information to make an educated decision for themselves.
Yeah, as I always kind of say, I think people get overly emotional about, this whole COVID vaccine discussion, because while some people are like, oh, COVID's nothing to be afraid of, the survival rate is 98%, and they get all, indignant with that, but then they go overboard with, but look at all of these people who died from side effects from the vaccine, and it's a small number of people. I mean, every medication that we take has a side effect, every single one. If you take Aleve, and I'm here telling you this as somebody who is suffering from something that the medical community, the pharmaceutical companies, and even doctors did not tell you. If you take Aleve, if you take Motrin, if you take NSAIDs, non-steroid anti-inflammatory drugs, they destroy your kidneys. If you take them for long enough, you will eventually, and you take enough of them, that you will eventually develop chronic kidney disease. And that, if untreated, can kill you. So, I mean, I think I agree that we should not be demonizing people because they have questions. We absolutely have to have questions about the way this government responded to this pandemic and what the pharmaceutical company is allowed to do, profiting off of these vaccines and that kind of thing, and question their methodology, because I don't trust them Bamas. At the same time, every assertion that the vaccine kills people, just because people don't agree with the vaccine, we have to be careful that we're not creating another narrative that is false and demonizing people on I hate to say on the other side, but demonizing people who don't agree that the vaccine is as dangerous as the pandemic, as COVID. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And somebody in the chat said, well, why not get the Cuban and Chinese vaccine? They don't have, how are we going to do that? How do we?
Excellent question.
How,
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because I would be all for that if I could get to how we have to talk about real world, solutions and responses that we can actually do. If I could go to Cuba and bring back a bunch of vaccines for y'all, I would, but I don't think I can. And not only that, but I wouldn't come back if I would go to Cuba. So
my only response to this conundrum is I'm really wondering, throughout the months to come, throughout this upcoming year, how many more variants are on the way?
Lots.
You know what I'm saying?
A lot.
And I don't believe that it's for reasons that they say it is. I think that in order for this medical industry to increase its worth and its value and its criminal activities, they have to make sure that there remains a problem, there remains an issue. And I think that this is going to be this is the new weapon, because of the fact that, again, it's going to be, well, now it's morphed into this, and now it's going to be this. It's going to be like hurricanes, like how each year they start off with one letter. Now we're down to, what's the name of it? Omnicon, Ombranicon, like, you know what I'm saying? Omanasa, like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, come on, man. Like, but hey, my thing is, don't take my word for it. Let's just see how it unfolds. You know what I'm saying? It's going to unfold.
I mean, yeah. Let me just be clear again, because it seems like I always have to, for some folks, I'm not disputing what Tierney said. My comments were not in opposition to Tierney. So y'all stop.
Also, let me just say this about what you just said. I mean, first of all, Big Pharma doesn't have to rely on COVID-19 or its variants in order to extract the maximum amount of profits out of people. I mean, just ask anybody who suffers from diabetes right now. Like the price of insulin in the United States, it's criminal. You know what I mean? Like when you can go to Canada and Mexico and get it for a fraction of what it costs here in the US. So, I mean, really, every single disease is being exploited by the medical industry and by Big Pharma. I don't think they had to rely exclusively waiting on COVID to get here in order to maintain, you know, their profitability. I mean, they're trying to extract the most out of people who suffer from very common illnesses. It didn't have to be this per se.
Oh, yeah, but that's the you have to understand when we talking about capitalism, right? We have to understand that the thing that will have most value is the thing that we all need. You know what I'm saying? When there's a crisis, they hike up the gas, they hike up the price of food. I mean, like, you know, is there a shortage all of a sudden? Like all of a sudden there's no gas, all of a sudden there's no food. This is games that they
play. The vaccine is free though, babe. So I mean,
it starts off free, but it's not free for everyone. And it's all these boosts and boosters and all that type shit. This is temporary. After a while, you have to pay what you owe. But I could be wrong. Tierney, you're on mute.
Tierney's muted.
Sorry, I was saying it's free for us, but I believe the government would have been paying Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson because they've made billions.
Insurance, the whole nine. It's like, yeah. I mean, you know, it's like the insurance racket itself. It's like, you know, you get medical insurance. Now you got to go on a hunt to find a doctor that will accept this extortion piece that you got that they're working in cahoots and in conjunction with. But anyway, let's take it to the ear doctor real quick because we running on time, and we'll be back with Mo on the remix.
Yeah. So I wanted to give a quick artist spotlight. Like we said, all this money that's going out to fixing cancer. I mean, why ain't cancer got no remedy yet? I mean, speaking of, this brother right here just passed, Virgil Abloh. He was known for doing this artistic direction with Louis Vuitton, doing album covers for different people and stuff like that. Young brother, another brother dying of cancer. All this money that's going into cancer, and that shit ain't been fixed yet.
It's not gonna. It's too much money.
It's a racket.
It's too profitable.
In the treatment. You know what I mean? Like it's too much money in the treatment. I mean, listen, I have a genetic condition right now that they have a stem cell treatment available for. Ask me how much it is. That shit is $400,000. You understand? Like, so I overstand. Trust me about the ways in which the medical community and in big pharma, et cetera, extorts people for cures. The cures are available. The question is, can you afford it? You know what I mean? Do you have the bread for it? So anyway, right. But that's a whole other
That's
topic.
what it is. Let's get to the break. Let's do it like this.
Yeah.
RemiX Morning Show.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah. What's good, everybody? Welcome out to another beautiful Tuesday right here on the RemiX Morning Show, Black Power Media. Make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe button down there. Like I was saying earlier, let's bring the brother back up and talk a little bit about Virgil. That's right. Virgil, pretty much he was born September 30th, 1980. Made his transition just November 28th, 2021. He was a fashion designer and entrepreneur. He pretty much came up working with Kanye. Also, they started an Off-White label. Fashion house founded in 2012. Pretty much this guy was a DJ coming up in the industry, going out of the country, doing this, that, and the third, and then really got into the fashion. And big up to Virgil for being another Dapper Dan, you know, Dapper Dan of our times, as in, you know, combining street gear with stuff like Louis Vuitton and blah, blah, blah. So that's what it is with him. Now what I wanted to do is give a spotlight to an artist that sent in their material and want to show you how it look real quick. So let's put y'all on to this right here. This brother goes by the name of Tay Uhuru. That's right. So let's peep his video right now. This is called Do Revolutionaries Go to Heaven?
Dear God, I got one question. I need to know, do revolutionaries go to heaven? And if so, may their legacies last forever and their seeds grow. Tell them that we love them so and never let them die slow. It's like we cursed to be born black. We was kings and queens, now look where we at. I know it won't be long before we take it back. I just hope I live long enough to see it happen. And that's a fact. Cause one thing when you pro-black, you might love your people, but they may not love you back. For more than 400 years, we've been under attack. We survived slavery and then they gave us crack. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? 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 I wanna know. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I hope so. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I wanna know. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? I hope my mind runs 1,000,000 miles per hour. They can't stop me, they ain't got the power. If they put me in the ground, I still rise like a flower, higher than the Eiffel Tower. Ancestors give me power to devour each and every enemy and every doubt. It's a Fred Hampton, Mark Clark, Martin Luther King, and Rosa Parks, Bob Marley, and Peter Tosh, and all the slaves who had to run away in the dark. You in my heart. This for the lost martyrs, the Omar Majeeds and Bunchy Carters, and all the comrades that's locked away on false charges, and all the soldiers that fought regardless, and those who died in the freedom rides and long marches. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? Do revolutionaries go to heaven?
That's right. Bam, there you go. Do revolutionaries go to heaven? That is Hoover. So check him out. Go to social media and follow that dude and check out, see what else he got for you. All right. That is the artist spotlight. Now let's take it back to the Remix Morning Show. Yeah.
Dug that, ear doctor. That was good.
No doubt. Shout out to Hoover. We got your message. We'll be bringing him on soon. This young brother has been traveling. He's been educating youth. You know what I'm saying? And I just want to say real quick, just coming from an artist perspective and a quote unquote A&R perspective, it's always good to hear quote unquote revolutionary and conscious music that sound good. Because oftentimes, whatever, you know, we make music and a lot of times folks will submit it, and some folks have gotten upset with me because I said, you know, their shit was trash. And they're like, man, you know, I'm talking about such and such. I'm talking, that's cool. But we have to be able to compete with capitalism in order to crush capitalism. You just can't walk around with some old mediocre bullshit and think it because the fact it's pro-black that it means that it's gonna be dope. I'm not bumping your shit in my ride if it's whack. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't do us like that. You know what I'm saying?
All the way down to the mix of it. I mean, people do send stuff in, and it sounds, you know, the content is great, but the mix don't sound good. The singing might sound off. There's certain things, but yeah, keep at it, y'all. Whoever y'all doing it for, keep at it.
Yeah,
that's
all good. You know,
I'm out of here.
Definitely. Shout out to the young brother Hoover. We need more Hoovers out there. We need more Bunchy Carters out there. You know what I'm saying? We need more little Bobby Huttons. You know what I mean? We need revolutionary artists out there to do what they're supposed to do. And y'all need to get at the Wu, man, because I'm really disappointed with that whole Remedy Zionist Israel piece right there.
That's shocking. That's
that's not. I know a couple of the brothers from there, and hopefully we can get some of them on. But you know, I'm not. We can't play the bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? First you want to be Asian, then you want to be fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? We African, let's be African. We not, you know what I'm saying? Then, but let's stop playing games though. All that shit, we can't go too far.
And anyway. You know what? Let's have the same heat for them that we have for R. Kelly.
Oh, without a doubt.
I'm just saying, because you know how sometimes we like to pick and choose which things we want to be outraged about, with our favorite folks. But nah, this is foul. And I love me some Wu-Tang. This is
I mean,
foul.
I'm a big fan of Wu. Always thought Wu was dope. So that's why, like I said, I mean, and this motherfucker ain't hiding it. It's not like it's a situation where well, it's he can't help where he's from. No, this is his line that he pushes. He's actually, I listen to his music. Musically, he sounds like a white member of the Wu. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's good with his shit. They have a whole album that they're about to drop with him, Remedy featuring Wu-Tang Clan. You know what I mean? So I was just like, man, that's just not that's a little different. But anyway, welcome back. How you good folks doing today?
All right.
It's
All
cold.
right, pretty good.
It's cold?
It's cold, yes.
Well, what's the temperature up there? I mean, Air Doctor
it's
talked
fine.
about the Ukraine and shit. What's going on around y'all with?
It's saying 40 degrees right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it ain't cold. Stop playing.
About to hit up. About to hit. Be quiet with your all the way down in Atlanta having
Thank
self.
you.
It's cold out here too.
And so what's this? 60 degrees?
Wow.
65.
Let me check my joint, man. Y'all just so disrespectful.
Talking about cold.
Let me see what the temperature is, man. I'm gonna tell you
It's
right
like
now.
66 degrees down.
Oh man, y'all just disrespectful. Let me see what's happening. It is 39 degrees.
Lies.
Now, word is
Lies.
bond. 39 degrees in Atlanta. So you mean to tell me y'all 40 degrees up? Nah, that y'all still a degree warmer. Crush Proof Studio. I'm not late. I know the dude existed. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying fuck him. I don't give a damn when it was. So since you knew, you should have been saying ban the Wu.
How
You come
about
from me in the
that?
chat, man. You know what I
How
mean?
about
What's wrong with you? Yeah. Anyway, Remix
Yeah.
Morning Show. We do around here and we get it done. You know what I mean? Again, as I mentioned in the beginning, we are not sponsored by rich white folks or wealthy Negroes. Please understand that we have a Patreon. We would appreciate your support. Go to blackpowermedia.org. My sister Kim, she could tell you how to get a whole deal on
That's
a year
right.
or whatever. So how you do that,
Absolutely.
Kim? Tell us about that.
So what's the link? It's patreon.com/blackpowermedia.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
so.
go on that, John. And if you want to, we have 15% off annual membership. So if you support us at the $2 a month tier, that comes to $20.40 for an entire year's worth of support. If you support us at the $5 tier, that's $51 for the year. And let me say, guys, over at Burn It Down with Kim Brown, we've had lots of people actually take advantage of this. So it's an economical way to support one of your favorite platforms, a platform that is giving you content that you need in your life. You know your community needs this. So all we need is $20.40 from you, and you. and the ball in amongst you can drop us that 51. But we certainly appreciate it, y'all. We are pushing and growing this channel. And trying to expand and do good things, add new projects, bring on new staff in order to support folks. So by supporting us, you support this entire Black Power Media ecosystem. So go on over to patreon.com/blackpowermedia. Take advantage of those 15% off the annual memberships at patreon.com.
No doubt. Thank you, Kim. Kim came through with the whole spiel. Act like y'all don't know. Only a sister with a robe can come on the Remix Morning Show and tell y'all where the money go. You know what I mean? Yes, we
I mean, is this bad? People. I mean, is this bad? Because, like, I mean, no. I don't embarrass easily. So, they'd be like, Kim, you have a huge booger out your nose. I'm like, oh, really? I didn't know. No, okay, but good. So is this bad? Am I misrepresenting my mother in a bad way by coming on the show in a robe?
No.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
My mama would come on a robe herself. So,
okay.
Yeah, I did the whole what do you call it? The movie night we had.
Yes.
Robe. Whole time. Robe.
Yes. Yes. So okay. Just wanted to make sure I didn't want to house coat up y'all nice proper Black Power Media channel. So
it's all good, man. Black Power's Black Power. Yeah, and some folks, when we mention things like our favorite artists supporting, Zionist Israel and whatnot, folks like, well, who owns this and who owns that? Look, we're in America. These motherfuckers own our language that we speak. You know what I'm saying? We're not looking. We're on YouTube. We're clear about the contradictions, but we're not saying sponsor YouTube. We're saying allow us to utilize this tool as a means to help further our people, to help liberate our people. Okay, so that's the efforts that we're trying to make around here.
That's
But anyway,
all.
shout out to the House Coast of Central Maryland.
That's right, and the bonnet wear and the bonnets. I don't know what y'all's problem is with bonnets. I honestly, sometimes I just think we pick the weirdest things to get pissed off.
Sidetracking of the slave.
Girl.
Like,
I was appalled at Monique when Monique went on like a tangent about the sisters wearing bonnets at the Spirit Airline gate. I'm like, really?
And she actually rolled up on some woman in public, outminded her business. Look, let me tell y'all something. I sometimes, if I feel like I have to run to the stove, none of my pajamas
S-T-O.
STO. None of my pajamas are actually appropriate for me just running around in the store. But you know, but if I have my bonnet on, get mad, be mad, stay mad, die mad. I don't understand. What does this have to do with you? This whole idea that Black women are doing a disservice to Black people and misrepresenting ourselves because we come out with a bonnet on our head. Do you understand? They were lynching our people when they had suits
on, right?
Do you understand that they were turning the water hoses and the dogs on our children in their Sunday best?
And they
blowing the churches
blouses,
up,
hard bottom shoes, and y'all pissed off talking about some bonnets. We're in trouble if this is the revolution. We're in trouble.
But you know, the thing is, Monique lost me a long time ago because of the fact that when they had we get into these moments in time as far as the masses when they was talking about blood diamonds, right? She got on. Somebody asked her about blood diamonds. She said, "I know people are dying and people getting hurt, but I'm gonna wear me some diamonds."
Right.
And then as soon as shit went down with Netflix, everybody want to get behind it. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You want to wear a bonnet, do your thing. That's your own personal thing. You know what I'm saying? Most of the people that's talking about this whole bonnet shit, they live in certain locations. They live in certain areas. I bet you 100 quarters on a good Sunday morning. Sound like some old shit my uncle would say. That if Monique had her ass in the Bluffs or a Bankhead down here in Atlanta, she wouldn't be running up on nobody talking about no motherfucking bonnet. Because you know what those sisters will say immediately? The first thing they're gonna say is wet.
That's what. First of all, she is down there. Monique does live in Atlanta. I can't remember what airport she was when she approached the sister at the Spirit Airlines. I'm not sure if that was Hartfield, or whatever.
That's the difference. The airport and the hood is two different things. You know what I'm saying? See, the thing is, it's easy. It's like what I remember KRS One.
Are they though? I've been to Atlanta Airport. Are you sure about
that? I promise you, you much rather stay your ass in Atlanta Airport than go to some of the hoods, right? You're like, this is the wrong place. I don't know what Monique talking about.
Listen. These people need to put down. Like, respectability is like a crack pipe to some of our folks, right? Like, they are really convinced that if we put our best foot presentation wise, aesthetic wise forward, that maybe the white folks will treat us good. And it's like, y'all need to get off that shit, man, because these white folks have proven to us, no matter what, how educated, how articulate, how clean, how well dressed, how well presented, we will still be niggas and they will call the police on our nigga ass. And for people to let's be clear, this whole bonnet shit, I'm seeing people in the comments too. A lady doesn't wear sleepwear out in public. This is all misogynoir. Just call it what it is. Just say that y'all don't like the way Black women present ourselves. Just say it. Like, it's okay. You can just say that you don't fuck with Black women. That's all right. Just say that. I would prefer that.
And you know what? You know what kills me though? Folks who are like, you wouldn't wear that in a white neighborhood. Let me tell you what white people do. Let me tell you how white people roll. White people will gentrify your fucking neighborhood, rise up, complain about everybody else in the neighborhood not keeping their house up to the standards that they want, get the taxes raised in the neighborhood, price people out so they can't afford it anymore, and then run through the neighborhood with their dog in their fucking drawers. So don't tell me about what white people, what I would do in a white neighborhood. Why the hell are white people the standard for what we do and do not do? We need to get off this shit.
Yeah,
We got white people that moved into our neighborhood that are a serious problem. This dude is a troublemaker. Dude tried to have my dog put down. He is acting like damn King Leopold up in the place.
I don't know why y'all. I don't know why they pissing y'all off. And Davuism, I don't live in a white neighborhood, so I don't know what that means. Matter of fact, let me bring that shit back. You live in America. America's a white neighborhood because of the fact that this shit's been invaded
are like
and
some
conquered.
kind of standard that we need to hold ourselves up to, like white people always do shit that's up to par.
Right.
Get the hell out of here.
These dirty
You know,
motherfuckers.
white ladies running around the neighborhood in a bra and their little teeny. Get the fuck out. Woo, Jesus.
Look at that. When y'all get jacked your hair after 9 a.m.,
Right.
she turned into a gremlin. She gonna cuss before y'all be like, oh yes, Jackie's so sweet. She's the nicest one on the platform.
Aunt Jackie will snatch your wig.
Said, fuck your bonnet. But anyway.
Right. And let's not thank you.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, yes.
Help me. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
So anytime you hear those bonnet discussions, or you hear anybody even wanting to raise the bonnet discussion with you, or women wearing pajamas to the store, just to call it what it is. Just say, oh, you don't like black women, huh? It's just you down with misogynoir, huh? You just want to have a reason to tear sisters down, huh? Oh, sister's the only one out here running to the store in pajamas, huh? Okay, got you. We see you, Chief. We see you.
These same folks crazy. Talk about it's how you present yourself in public. You ain't gonna never say that to a white dude.
Ever.
You ain't gonna never say that to a white girl. Not ever. You only have that kind of heat for us. So
only there.
Okay.
Only.
I gotta actually go to my day job.
Why get caught in the crossfire all this shit all the time, man? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, my position is, man, you know what? I don't give a fuck what you wear. At the end of the day, what side of the barricade you on?
That's
you know
right. In my jammies and in my damn bonnet on the correct side of the barricade. Now say something.
Man, listen, I was looking at a documentary, and I forget where it was at. I think it might have been the Sudan. They had a pink sea, and I'm just looking at I'm looking at how our people live and how comfortable they are in different parts of the world. You know what I'm saying? And how we're so arrogant and cocky. We're the most egotistical slaves on the planet. You know what I'm saying? We're the wealthiest slaves, the wealthiest enslaved people. And I just look at it and I'm like, wow, man, we be arguing and fighting over the wildest shit. But meanwhile, people are being destroyed all over the planet, totally dominated, totally left destitute, and I mean in prison, so on and so forth. And we argue about the most craziest shit that we can think of. But anyway, we're gonna be all right in spite of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We are byproducts of losses. You know what I'm saying? And with those losses, we've lost our goddamn minds. But we're gonna be all right though. But anyway. You're right.
Excellent question, David Silberg. Who's defining respectable? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And y'all, can we be real clear? Look, something my mama told me. You don't hold your judgment on other people when you see them, because you have no idea what they are going through at that moment. No. I cannot tell y'all how many times, and this is real, this is on the real tip. I cannot tell you how many times after Abdus died, I literally could not get out of the bed to put clothes on. And if I had to go somewhere, ain't no telling what I would have looked like. I know there was one time I did manage to drag myself out of bed and throw some clothes on, and I know I looked a hot mess. I know I did. But I and there are still some days like this past Thanksgiving where I look, thinking about that's not the first thing on my mind. People are going through things. You have no idea what they're going through. So if you look at someone who is dressed inappropriately in your opinion because you don't think that they are presenting their best self, maybe they are not experiencing their best self for a whole lot of reasons that you are too shallow yourself to stop and even ask that person, yo, you all right, sis? You all right, bruh? Can I help you with anything? Because it's easier for you to judge. I wish somebody would have approached me when I was feeling horrible and probably looking just as bad. I probably would have needed bail. Y'all, we need to get off this. We really do.
That is so real. And thank you so much for sharing that and for putting that out there, because people need to hear that, right? People are dealing with grief. People are dealing with crippling depression. People are dealing with mental illness. People are dealing with physical illness. And we live in such a judgmental society. And even within our own communities, we're extremely judgmental of people's aesthetic. Oh, their hair not done, or why they wearing them run over shoes, or their nails not. I mean, we get very, very caught up in that, while at the same time blissfully ignoring the trauma or crisis that people may be enduring while they're looking in a particular state. So I saw somebody else in the comments that said, you know, you dress for how you expect to be treated. That's not true. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people out here, I mean, not just out here in current day, but I'm thinking about our ancestors and our elders too, as Jackie mentioned, who was dressed up in their church clothes just to get lynched, just to get the hose turned on them, just to have their church blowed up. I mean, like, stop that nonsense, y'all. Like, stop using white people's metrics and their barometers of judgment and presentation for who is worthy of respect or anything consideration. Stop doing that, because we are out here struggling and suffering, and you don't know what someone is going through at a particular point in time. So save that shit. Like, keep that shit all the way to yourself, please.
Hey, you sound, I mean, we have to really think about it. You know, you sound like that cracker who got on the stand or was in the courtroom and had the nerve to say that Ahmaud Arbery's toenails was long and dirty.
His long, dirty toenails.
Yeah, you don't like the sisters just said, we don't know what the next person going through. You know what I'm saying? We all up here smiling. You don't know jack shit about what none of us are going through. You know what I mean? So judge not, or ye shall be judged.
That's
the way ye judge, ye shall be judged. Anyway, speaking of that,
this judgment. You don't want it. You don't want it.
Time to bring Bishop Ear Doctor to the scene real quick. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got kind of emotional with these sisters today.
Woo, boy, you better not talk about these sisters out here, man. These are our queens. And yeah, it is. You know where I think it might have started, y'all? From our moms and grandmoms saying, y'all better put some clean underwear. You never know what happened. Think about it. You might get in an accident. You better have on some clean underwear. That's where it started from. That's where it comes from. Like, yo, y'all better look right when you leave this house, goddamn it. You represent me.
And let me say something else. One last thing before Air Doctor go. Listen, please don't be the goofy N-word or non-N-word that will take a picture of a stranger who may be looking less than put together and post it on the internet. Like, don't be that goofy ass nigga ever. Okay, ever. Don't you ever do that, ever. And if you know people that do that, you need to stop being friends with them people immediately.
All right, tell them. Anyway. All right, well, let's get to a break real quick. Woo, it's hot up in here, boy.
I know. I feel like Nelly, little brother. Remix morning show. Got it. Right.
As you can see in my background, I got no other than the one called Curtis Blow. It is still Hip Hop History Month, the last day of it, so we had to give a shout out to one of the pioneers right here, as you can see, Curtis Blow. Now, I was thinking, you know, when it comes to hip hop, a lot of people listen to rap music today and be like, yo, all they do is sing and rhyme. Now, we think about it like, okay, who was one of the first people that got on the mic, sang, and was an MC? As you can hear in this song right here, Daydreaming.
That terrible confrontation. Now all I can
As you can hear right there, it started with Curtis Blow. Let me tell you a little bit about Curtis Walker, also known as Curtis Blow. Pretty much he's a rapper, singer, songwriter, record producer, b-boy, DJ, public speaker, and a minister. That's right. He was one of the first to get on a major record label with The Breaks and also Christmas rap song, which was a song that pretty much blew hip-hop to a whole nother stratosphere because it was more popularized and more people could dance to it, and it was a song that they could relate to when it's talking about Christmas. So big up to Curtis Blow. He also had over 6 albums he put out, producer for Fat Boys. He was also had Run as his DJ for Run DMC. So he just dealt with some heart issues. He pretty much had that handle. He's out, and he is also working with the Hip Hop Museum, and that is Curtis Blow. But if we're going to talk about hip hop and singing, we got to talk about from Curtis Blow to Houdini to Bismarck, Queen Latifah, Lauryn Hill, Andre 3000, Nelly, T-Pain, Lil Wayne, Fonte, Drake, and Future. All these cats are singers, and now all you hear is singers that rap a little bit on auto-tune. That's what it is. But thank you, Curtis Blow, for putting in the work you did. Big salute to you, and glad you back out and healthy. That's what it is right here on the Remix Morning Show. That's how we do. We represent our people. Let's get back to the Remix Morning Show.
Basketball is my favorite sport. I love how they dribble up and down the court. I love Curtis Blow, man.
Man, he got that voice, right?
Like Curtis Blow was the rapper when I was a little girl, like 6, 7, 8, whatever. Like it was him. Like it was Curtis Blow was like the solo rapper that I knew, and I knew Run DMC. But Curtis Blow, I definitely knew Curtis Blow for basketball. Really, we playing basket.
Yeah, some bangers. He definitely, and the production he did for Fat Boys and everything. He's a key staple in his hip hop. He could break dance, graffiti, everything. He is hip hop.
Yes. Icon status for Curtis Blow. I think I think icon gets overused, but I think it's appropriate when referring to Curtis Blow. I don't think he gets enough of his flowers, considering how large of an influence he had on the earlier part of rap culture. So yeah, Curtis Blow.
And to have DJ Run as your DJ, back in the day, and then Run DMC being the icons that they are, I mean, it's a beautiful thing. Listen, I wish Jackie was still around, because when y'all was talking about how we got to stop acknowledging white man culture. You know that? So I was thinking, last week when I was talking about the whole thanks taking thing, I was just like, why do we acknowledge the fact that these people can take a day and make it whatever they are, whatever they want? And we acknowledge it. We give them their respect. Like, yes, this is your day. We'll have our own on this day. I don't know about that. I just still feel like if you give the acknowledgement that this is your day, then you're giving the power to them. But me,
how does that acknowledgement happen in your opinion? Because I mean, it's a federal holiday, right? So it's not like we was like, oh no, fuck it, they'll have the day off. We just go to work. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean by acknowledging it? Just even having a dinner with our family on that day, is that the acknowledgement?
No, the fact that we got to be like, no, we can't celebrate on this day that they said. Well, if it's a day that we can all get off, then let's take it. Let's take it and make it ours. Let's stop being like, oh, this is yours. That's just like the false fantasy of what money is. It's like we get the power to it, but really it's nothing but paper with ink on it. My whole thing is, let's take it. Let's make it ours. Whatever. I'm tired of acknowledging this whole culture and saying, this is how it should be done. This is the standard of how you should look when you go out. Man, all that. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. I think the ear doctor and Kim should have a show. You know what I'm saying?
I think
Call it the
I should have a
Rose.
show with everybody.
Yeah, right. Why
Guess
y'all keep
what?
trying to push Kim off, man?
Remix Morning Show. She's here. You got to show with everybody.
And
Anyway,
let me say this real quick, Air Doctor. To your point,
Yeah.
our Indigenous brothers and sisters have, like, Thanksgiving to them. They have declared it a national day of mourning. The original people that encountered the Pilgrims, you know, in New England, in Kalanji's homelands, the Wampong Mashpee people who greeted the Puritans and told them how to find the food, and 10 years later shit was not all good. You know, I mean, I think when it comes to holidays like Thanksgiving, I definitely think we should follow the lead of our Indigenous brethren and sisters on that one, because they don't honor it as a day of you know, fellowship. I mean, they call it a national day of mourning, and then they do their own rituals and et cetera around that. But I mean, shit, I mean, I'm with them on this. Like,
they know who they are. They know who
right.
they are. They know that this man do not run the calendar. They know this man do not run the laws. It's universal laws we deal with as people. We are spirits living a human experience.
That's right.
So we got to stop thinking like giving them all the power and praise. Nah, that's just me. That's just how I think. What do I
yeah,
just
man.
spin
You know,
records
Ear Doctor come with the spirituality this morning.
Hey,
That's
you know,
all right, brother.
it is
Ear
what
Doctor.
it is.
You know,
Get out of here, man. I'm talking too much.
Oh man, welcome back.
Not enough.
Yeah. Anyway, shout out to Curtis Blow and Ear Doctor. You know what I'm saying? We actually back in the 90s, my man Jeff Baldwin, shout out to him up in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I remember he brought Curtis Blow to this little hole in the wall club that we had up there. So we got to kick it with Curtis Blow. Of course, this was long after the hits, but of course, Curtis Blow is an icon.
That's right.
Cultural icon. As is, he mentioned Houdini. Shout out to Jalil, rapper Jalil, who's one of my brothers here in Atlanta, who just celebrated his birthday yesterday. And shout out to my son, Kayvon, whose birthday is today as well.
Hey, happy birthday, Kayvon. Happy birthday, Kayvon.
Yes. He up in Bosstown doing what he do. But anyway, yeah, Kim. So I'm supposed to have a guest, but I was just alerted that the guest is just coming out the airport. So we don't know how that's gonna go. So shout out to the person who hooked the guests up and had them come on
while they were in flight, in transit.
Yeah. Hopefully he didn't get held up like Ari Lennox did with that flight story. You know what I'm saying? Hanging on Kim flight.
I had something else happen to me on another airplane. This is why I don't fly Delta. By the way, fuck Delta Airlines. Let me just put that on the record. I don't fly Delta for that reason, for the incident that I described for y'all earlier. But then I had another incident where I had to namaste. And like I said, because I said, Kim, if you say something else, they gonna call them people on you again. They're gonna call them people on you again. Let me just be brief. So I was on a night flight, and it's dark on the airplane, and someone is kicking the back of my chair, right?
Oh man.
So I don't know who's kicking my chair. I've turned around like a couple times and be like, can you stop kicking my chair? The kicking continues. So I called the steward, dude. White man rolls up. He's like, hey, you know, what's the problem? I said, you know, can you just tell the person, I don't know if it's a child, I don't know who it is. I said, can you just tell the person behind me to stop kicking my chair? Oh, well, we can move you to another seat in the back of the plane.
I thought she was Rosa Parks' daughter. I'll put you on the back of the plane. What type of shit is that?
What? Kalanji, why was that his first suggestion? How come he couldn't just ask the person to stop kicking my fucking chair? Why do I got to get up and move because my chair is being kicked? And I'm like, sir, I'm not moving my seat. I said, my chair is being kicked. I'm not doing anything. Oh, you don't have to get hostile, ma'am.
Anything.
Dog, I was like, oh, this crack is trying to push all the buttons. I said, sir, I'm not even remotely hostile. And he was like, well, and he started to say something else. I said, you know what? I can see that you're not going to be any help. So I put my earbuds back and I said, leave me alone. I said, please walk away from me. Just get the fuck out my face. I didn't say get the fuck out my face, but that was my energy was get the fuck out my face because nigga, you gonna ask me to get up and go sit in the back of the plane and then you gonna tell me I don't have to be hostile? Oh, really?
To all the folks in chat, whenever Kim says she's flying, find out what airline and time
So-
she's flying, and don't get on that damn plane, yo.
Delta, it's Delta, dog. I don't fly Delta. Let me tell you something. Niggas can talk all the shit they want about Southwest being the Peter Pan of the airways. I don't care. I've had nothing but excellent treatment on Southwest Airlines.
That's cool. I don't like Spirit. I mean, Spirit is kind of, like shit. It's like you on one of those paper planes and shit for like somebody through that motherfucker, and you can land wherever it lands, but yeah.
Delta Airlines, both of those incidents that I had, y'all, happened on Delta Airlines. Is why I do not fuck with Delta. I do not fly Delta because I'm sorry, there's too many racist experiences. My bad. I can't fuck with them.
Hey man, welcome to America. Welcome to the United States. Thank you, Hiram. You know what I'm saying, for pointing that out. Of course, we know that we're in the United States. But anyway, what else is going on? Your homegirl. I was reading an article the other day. Your homegirl, Candace Owens.
Your homegirl.
I mean, I thought that was your folks. I read that she recently was supporting the police officer who donated an anonymous $25 to Kyle Rittenhouse's defense fund. So she actually decided to give him a gift of $245,000 and says she hopes that he sues the city.
Wow. Hey man, that cooning is a career move, shorty. She got 240K to just to throw away. That cooning might be a
yes,
that might be a lane to consider. Shit.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sorry, it was $202,000.
Either way.
Some other kind of yeah. I mean, I'm like, wow, man. It's like, I don't even call it cooning at this point. It's like you have established yourself as an enemy to our people. You know what I'm saying? Without a doubt. It's like some of these folks, it's like, okay, you want attention, you want to rub up against them, so on and so forth. But you're gifting someone over $200,000 because they donated $25 to Kyle Rittenhouse. I saw the piece, the picture with him and Trump. Rittenhouse and Trump. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was looking, I'm like, okay, I like that. You know what I'm saying? I like it because of the fact that our people really need to know that these folks aren't playing. And I think that we're under some assumption because of the fact that, we'll crack our jokes, we say, so on and so forth. But these folks are really serious about our demise. And then you have these Negroes who think inside of their small ass heads that they will, that history will absolve them. They think that they won't be punished for, their acts of treachery and just being traitors. You know what I'm saying? I never thought I'd say, people be talking about, he's a race traitor, this and that. I don't think she's a race traitor. I just think she's a race hater. You know what I'm saying? I think she just, she's an example of someone hating themselves so much that they'll go to extreme lengths. And I think that was a marketing tactic. Like, yes, Candace Owens does it again, so on and so forth. So, shout out to Candace Owens for being the piece of shit that she is.
Shout out to Candace Owens. What?
Being the piece of shit that she is. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was about to say. I mean, listen. So who was it? Infinite Content. I don't know if Infinite Content's in here with us this morning, but Infinite Content tagged me on a tweet where Candace was on Tucker Carlson, and I didn't. I mean, in the headline of the tweet indicated that she had said something about Black people are the most dangerous people. Now listen, I mean, I personally don't understand why we even mention Candace Owens or any of them other coons for the simple fact that this is what they do, right? Their whole goal is to get attention and to get rewarded monetarily by racist conservatives. Okay, now an argument can absolutely be made that there are Negroes on the Democratic side who do the exact same thing. They just might use different language, but their whole goal is to undercut, I guess, Black folks in Black power, right? But so I think that what Candace Owens does is not so dissimilar from like than what Van Jones does, right? They just kind of use different language and different, you know, approaches to it, but they're basically kind of doing the same thing. So when people want to talk about Candace Owens said something crazy, Van Jones said something crazy, nigga, why do what these coons have to say? Why does this matter to you? Now, I'm not saying you specifically, Kalonji. I'm talking about because this shit becomes it's clickbait. It becomes you know, water cooler fodder. It becomes shit that people share on Facebook. And you see what Candace Owens said? It's like, nigga, stop. Stop caring about what Candace Owens says. Can we start there?
That's the first thing.
That's the first thing, because you have to understand, like they serve a role, they serve a purpose. Like I mean, I know Van, at least from what Kamal described, at least did have some sort of activism background in his distant past. But Candace, from what I understand, is basically like an actress, right? Like she's not no fucking activist. She probably don't even believe half the shit that she says, but she understands that it's a check in it for her, and she understands that it's a nice check in it for. Now, to Candace's credit, she seemed to be playing the game better than Diamond and Silk, because Diamond and Silk, I don't think, was getting broke off at all to do all that cooning they was doing for Trump. I mean, it was on a per diem basis for Diamond and Silk. At least Candace is getting run some 6-figure shits. You know what I mean? Like she gets something in it for her cooning, but don't just be out here cooning just to be cooning, and stop paying attention to what the coons be talking about. Everybody, goddamn.
No doubt. Speaking of that, we have a special guest that we're gonna be bringing on. You know what I mean? That just flew in to the ATL, and we want to definitely you know, bring him on. He's a brother who is a activist in his hometown of Chicago. He's the president and urban translator for United in Peace Inc. He's a public safety, public health, criminal justice reform brother. He's an ex-felon who was pardoned by former Illinois Governor Jim Thompson. And he's here today to talk to us about something they're doing in Atlanta. And we're going to be right at him in a few seconds. We want you to welcome our guest in a few minutes. Here we go. RemiX Morning Show.
Hey.
Good. What's happening, brother? How you doing?
Hey, I'm blessed. How about yourself, man?
Man, I'm trying to be as cool as you. We got the Honorable Wallace Gator Bradley in the building. How's everything going, man?
All right. Hey, man, quiet as kept you cool as I am. This is about this cold in Chicago.
Hey, I tried to tell them, man, they was fronting because we got some folks from up north that's checking out. They like, it ain't cold down in Atlanta. Told them, like, man, it's 39 degrees. You know what I'm saying? It's colder than a pimp's hat. Yeah. So for folks who are not familiar, brother, I want you to introduce yourself, and we're gonna talk about why you're here today and why today's a special day, and you know, so let's talk about that, man. Tell the people where you come from.
Hey, I'm from Chicago, you know, but I've been blessed to get married the second time to my wife over in Israel. So I'm an international lover with common sense like David realized he had. And he was blessed with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You know what I mean? But former gang enforcer for my friend and Confidant Larry Hoover. You know, right now everyone is zoned or zoomed in, or however it is, to the importance of us fighting in the name of fairness, redemption, and humanity to help free Brother Larry Hoover based on the law. You know, and it's my understanding that they're having, yes, today is his birthday for your international listeners, as well as your national listeners, as well as your local listeners. Okay, this Larry Hoover's birthday, November the 30th. His son, his wife, I believe his grandson, his daughter-in-law, his family members and friends, as well as elected officials, community activists, are here celebrating his birthday because elected officials have given him a proclamation by calling this Larry Hoover's Day. And they're going to be giving away stuff to people and all of this. So I'm here in full support. I'm going to get in where I fit in, but it's not my first time or second time, coming to Atlanta. I got family down here in Atlanta.
Right on. For folks that's checking it out, right? Because of the fact that, again, we take certain things for granted and we say, that everybody should know everybody and all that type stuff. For folks who are unfamiliar with Larry Hoover, give them a brief bio and an understanding as to who he is and the importance of him and where he is today.
Well, a lot of people may know of him. We had Rick Ross song, Big Meets Larry Hoover. You know what I mean? But a lot of people know of him as being the former leader. He's the former leader of Gangster Disciples. Let's start with that. Okay? He's been locked up for over 48 years. 25 of them in ADX Supermax Penitentiary. He took the Gangster Disciples, though they was willing to go from a negative to a positive, into a mind evolution, for lack of a better phrase, known as growth and development. I know it worked because I'm the manifestation of it. I live it. I raised my kids up under it. All 5 of them graduate from college, okay? Based off the teachings from the book, From Gangster Disciple to Growth and Development, okay? Where you're going from a negative to a positive in order to better your life. One of the things that he always say that grabs me is that, hey, Gator, if they knew better, they'll do better, okay? And in the 90s, they came at him, in my opinion, not just because he was involved in the selling of drugs, but because he was changing the mindset of young adults. He was instrumental in helping. He was one of the co-founders of United in Peace, where we had all the street organization leadership come together to help bring down senseless violence, shootings, and killings of African Americans by anyone, especially by another African American. During that time in the 90s, it had got up to over 900 shootings a year. After Dantrell Davis, and I'll mention these names because I would like for your viewing audience, they can check it out, with their smartphones. They can see that what I'm speaking is verifiable, documented facts. Okay. In Chicago, I see here that there's an election today.
Yes.
And I'm seeing how the powers that be trying to do anything and everything to disrupt the election of African Americans or people in Georgia to elect an official that's going to be right and fair to everyone. In Chicago in the 90s, because it was different gangs in different parts of the city, and a lot of people couldn't come out and vote because they would have to cross gang lines in order to go vote. When Larry helped instrument United in Peace and 21st Century Vote, we realized that it was incumbent on us to help make the young adults become more civic minded than criminally in tune. You follow what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And we was instrumental behind that to help elect the first African-American woman to the United States Senate, who was Carol Moseley Brown. Okay. When they saw that Larry was, in my opinion, was going through a redemptive state of mind by saying he was tired of seeing young men coming into the penitentiary that was the age of his son. Okay, and seeing other guys, grandchildren coming into the institution. All right. So he said, we got to make a move to show them that coming to the penitentiary ain't cool as individuals want to make it appear to be. So he started pushing the importance of individuals going to school, learning how to read and write, learning a trade to better themselves as well and come out and better the community. We all human beings. We all make mistakes. Okay. But when Mayor Daley saw that he was able, with the help of others, to get about 10,000 young adults and elders and adults, men, women, and children, to march downtown to help avoid a school teacher strike. What the political leaders saw then, because they count us as fours. What I mean by that, if they see you, brother, and they know that you got a wife or you have a significant other, okay? And they know that y'all got 2 children that are voting age. They don't see you as an individual, they see you as in fours. Those are 4 votes. Daley realized that these young adults are coming down and they're not destroying downtown, they're not turning over garbage cans. They're in a structured order where individuals are providing or teaching them how to become responsible leaders in order for them to be able to guide our children and our grandchildren. You got to prepare leaders going into the future. That's what I'm saying is happening down here in Georgia. And I keep mentioning Georgia with the same passion as if I'm talking about Chicago. More so Georgia. All the rights that we have, the right to vote and all that, the civil rights battles and everything else was fought down here in the South. That's why the people in Georgia was so profound, so purposely focused. Wasn't gonna let nobody stop them from electing 2 United States senators. Regardless how long it takes. You know what I mean? Regardless the rules that they was trying to change, because they all come with the spirit of knowing they was asking our forefathers and foremothers how many marbles is in a jar in order for you to be able to vote. You know what I mean? So when you see Kanye and you see Drake and you see Jay Prince and you see Larry Hoover Jr. coming together to not only free his father, but also to show us culturally that if we come together, there's a lot of things that we can do. Like someone that sent me a message that we miss out because we talk about one another and we don't talk to one another. And it starts off by understanding we got to respect one another's opinion, having a right to have an opinion. Because once you do that, then you're going to have a conscious debate. where you can understand that it's all right to disagree with someone. You know what I mean? Okay. So by them brothers coming together for a worthy cause, in my mind, it brings to the point where people now are seeing Larry Hoover Sr. as a human being. Pretty much the same way that the people saw or understood the importance of Nelson Mandela. They saw ANC just like they see GD, just like they see Stones, just like they see Vice Lords, just like they see whatever it is, you know what I mean? But the world came to understand that apartheid was evil.
Right.
They came to understand that, wait a minute, what they doing to them over in South Africa then is what they was doing here in America to us with the slavery piece. Okay? But don't get me wrong, corruption is corruption. Okay? From what I'm hearing, what's happening in South Africa, all even though they meant well, it's not as if the South Africans are getting their fairness. If I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. I'm just going by what I read and what I hear. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. And when Mandela became president, pretty much, in my opinion, the people should have been able to get the land that they was working on. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this, right? Because of the fact that I see, you know, I definitely see what you're talking about when you're talking about a question of power, right? From what you're saying and what we've read and our understanding, part of the main issue that the state had with Mr. Hoover is the fact that like in the Malcolm movie where the white cop said this is too much power for one black man to have.
Yeah.
Here it is. It's 2021, right? And this man's been locked up almost 5 decades, 48 years, right? And here it is. We get, you know, across the wire, we hear these rumors where like, hey, Jay Prince is calling for Kanye and Drake to squash a beef and to sit down with him, so on and so forth. It is a serious demonstration of power to see a man that's been locked up close to 50 years to not only call someone like Jay Prince, who folks respect without a doubt, you know what I'm saying? He's an OG as well, to call these two biggest names in hip hop to the table. And the next thing you know, they're doing a concert. Is there any they're doing a not just a concert, a benefit concert, saying it's for saying it's for Larry Hoover. They're not saying, oh, it's to support this, so on and so forth. Do you feel you know, you being who you are, you know, just from the community standpoint, the activism, so on and so forth, do you feel that I know that it encourages our people, but do you feel that can possibly bring on more issues from the state because of the fact that they see that this man still has that type of power? What's your thoughts on that?
You know, my thought is this, man. When you God-fearing, God gonna have you to do certain things because he know you no longer gonna be here. That's for all of us. Right. You know what I mean? Okay. And when we see, like in Chicago, and I know what's happening here, when we see the majority of mass shootings that's happening in our community, okay, and it's being done by other African Americans, the powers that convince us that we shouldn't listen to the brothers behind the walls that's trying to send a message out to say, hey, man, stop killing one another because there's consequences because you're going to be held accountable, okay? The Hispanic community, they have the same thing that we have in our community in Chicago. It may be here, yeah, because when we did the gang summons, we did them around the country, okay? And it was split into two entities, 6 points and 5 points, Okay, one representing the folks, one representing the people. Okay, the Hispanics refuse to let any other nationality interfere with them being about their culture. We let everybody interfere with us and our culture. Everybody can come in and tell us, hey, those niggas shouldn't be talking together. They shouldn't, we got to stop them, or they got to get everybody to got to come together for peace. This demonstration that God has allowed Larry to reach out to Jay, well, he been knowing Jay. For those that don't know, the resurrection. When Jay and the Ghetto Boys put out the resurrection, that was Larry Hoover's voice in the 90s, telling people that this day was going to come in the 90s. And it ain't happenstance that the same individual that was instrumental and able to record Larry is the same individual that was able to record Larry Hoover Jr. for him to be on Kanye's joint. The name of the song is Jesus Lord. You follow what I'm saying? Yes, so our thing is this. Somewhere in the scripture is read 2 or 3 in my name. It didn't say half a dozen. 2 or 3 is like-mindedness, man. You know what I mean? Everyone has an opinion that we got to respect. We ain't got to like it. We ain't got to agree with it. But in order to have a conscious debate, we got to come to terms with what is happening, man. Every time black men come together, and I'm saying that to say this, in 95, the Million Man March, fantastic demonstration. But we didn't follow through. And because we didn't follow through, we have what we see today. You follow what I'm saying? Yeah, they're going to come. They don't want it to be a black man to lead. But what they missing is there's many black men and black women that's leaders. And they don't want us to understand that there's many. It ain't just me. It ain't just Larry. It ain't just you. There's many of us. But the media put all the attention on a few negative individuals that's terrorizing our community that we know who they are.
No doubt. Hey, brother.
You know what I mean?
We
so I don't mean to be passionate like this.
No, you supposed to be passionate like this. This the nature of the show. It's just
all right, my man. Okay.
Yeah, it's just time wise we just got an issue. But I want to invite you back onto the show where we can give you more time. I want to say definitely. I know today in Atlanta, you're here for Larry Hoover Day, and I know there's going to be all types of different products and not just products, different supplies given to folks in need here in the Atlanta area. I know it's a few different things going on, and I believe that's on the corner of Fort and Auburn Avenue, I believe, here in Atlanta. It's going to be a pretty big affair. Definitely, you don't want folks to support that. But what I want to do right now, because of the fact that we are unfortunately out of time, but is there a website or something that folks can go to learn more and to?
Well, what they can do, I want to get them my number.
Okay.
It's 312-371-6914. And all you have to do is just Google Wallace Gator Bradley. And I can be reached through all those menus. You can learn me as I learn you. You know, that's the graceful thing about God. And I want to say this. I want to say to God be the glory for allowing us to do what we're doing today. And I call that telephone, by telegram, and by telling the Negro. That's the only way we're going to stay in tune with what's happening.
No doubt, bro.
And I want to say to God be the glory.
Hey, listen, man, I'm glad that Thank you for being able to come on. I mean, I know you just literally came out the airport and whatnot. You was running like OJ with them suitcases and whatnot through the airport.
No, I got these gators on. I was taking it real slow.
You was cooler. I forgot you was Chi-Town Gator with the Gators. No doubt. Well, definitely, man. We're gonna see you soon. Stay on the right side of the barricades, and
Sir.
we'll definitely have you back on, man. Appreciate you coming through.
Hey, well, brother, one thing for sure. We plug now. You got me and whatever it is.
Without doubt.
Anyway, anytime that you allow me, it can be a funeral, 2 minutes. You know, they say you only got 2 minutes to do your stage before they pull you off the stage. You know what I mean? So hey man, you got me. You know,
on, brother.
Ain't no bad questions.
Same applies, brother. Stay on point, man. And I'll see you in the shy, if not ATL.
You got it. I appreciate it.
Right
Peace.
on. Hey, checking out the Remix Morning Show. That was Wallace Gator Bradley. And unfortunately, we are all the way out of time. Whole staff now ran and left me. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you all supporting what it is we're doing here at Black Power Media. Stay on point, stay tuned. Tonight, there's actually a Riot Starter TV. For those of you still around, there will be a Riot Starter TV that will broadcast about 9 p.m. tonight, and it's harder than the times. Stay on point. Be safe. Remix Morning Show. See y'all later. Salute.